Hey y'all, what's going on? So don't adjust your shit. Yes, I'm rocking a new damn color, honey, and I haven't really, this is the season of the damn bobs, but I had to work with a couple of mine to kind of get them where they was wearable. No makeup, no none of that shit. Gloss. That's it. Okay. So here we are in here to talk about Empire. Now, y'all have wrote me and talked about that and mentioned that in the comments on the American Horror Story video. And here I am to talk about it. And I absolutely am in for it. Now, normally, I don't know, it's just not my type of thing. And I usually be like, now, what the hell is shit? And why in the hell is it on Fox? You know what I'm saying? Of course, Fox is shady as hell, and of course they're going to do some shit like that. But the show is good. Plus, I am a fan of Taraji P. I am a true fan of her. Just something about her just she just reminiscent of myself. I can see some of myself in her. Anywho, so here's what we have in Empire. We have Terrence Howard. We have really, I can't. Terrence Howard, Taraji P. I haven't got all the names down, honey, but they have sons together. And basically, from what I'm getting, and I got to go back and try to get some more shit on it, so y'all bear with me on this one, but I can say it was damn good. And they got me, honey. Apparently, for some reason, she went to penitentiary. I haven't quite got why she went, but I do know, from watching it that she got, she put the first $400,000 in it. And as they went back, it kind of showed their relationship. Now, when I seen the previews to the shit, it was kind of like, I felt they was going to be on some we hate each other shit, which I'm sure some shit like that going on in a sense. Okay. So basically, we're going to start with where I want to start at is where Terrence Howard got his ass in there. What was his character's name? Lucius. Got his ass. He's going through this and that and other. And this is where I want to start at. And he's looking at his shit and, he got all the money and this and that and other. Got these 3 sons. One business, one hip-hop, and one R&B. Now, of course, y'all know who my favorite is because that damn, the business son, he done got on my motherfucking nerves, but I didn't expect anything different, and I watched as the snake slithered around his ass and worked him like a motherfucking puzzle. Not a puzzle, like a fucking puppet. Did y'all see how his wife was dancing around the shit? This bitch setting the shit up. Plus, I already know he's the angry motherfucker, but on top of that, he got a motherfucking snake-ass wife, and I knew before anything was said what her shit was going to be. And she did it. It didn't, I knew it was coming. Anywho, okay, we have this one scene where the brothers is on the deck or on the boat or whatever they on. And they kind of sitting there. They got the little hip-hop shit going. And the one brother, the one that's gay, he was playing the piano. The other brother was rapping or whatever. And they seemed to be kind of jigging like, you know what I'm saying? It's like they have a good relationship. Meanwhile, the oldest brother, I believe he's the oldest, is up on the balcony looking at them as the snake begins to tell him that, your brothers is, doing what they doing yet again. And I'm like, whatever. So, okay, we have that. Then I'm like, okay, they doing what they doing. So I'm thinking they in some group together or whatever, besides being, they do their thing together. Come to find out on down the road, the gay brother, the one that's gay, what's his name? You don't remember his name? He loves the art of doing music, and he's not into the new way. He just likes to, just sing. The other one, the impression I'm getting from him is that he just out fucking hoes and rapping auto-tune. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. And I just really wasn't that interested in his ass. But it's like, but they were still kind of jigging. And we already know to get down to the older one. Okay. Then we have a scene where Miss Taraji, Miss Cookie is getting out. She's doing her little shit. And she's like, you know, she didn't think she'd ever see the day. Apparently, she was in there 17 years. She's getting out. When she goes out, nobody's there, I don't think, to pick her up or whatever. She's just glad to be out. Meanwhile, Terrence is doing what he's doing. He's going around. He walks in the office at one scene, and who do you think was in there with him? Citabag. Now, y'all, I say kudos to Citabag for, you know, she's been in a lot of stuff here lately. I say kudos to her on that. But I have given up. But, you know, that's probably how they want her character to look. But, you know, everybody else has got decent hair on and this and that and other, you know, and I'm like, what? Okay, I give up. Because no matter how I spend that shit, I'm under the impression that Citabag is the modern day Aretha Franklin. I don't give a fuck how it looks. I want it. So Citabag's there with this hair. She apparently works for the daddy. He's talking to her, yada, 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 get this together. She said, how did the doctor go? He's like, we got some shit going on. They about to take the company, you know, and put it on the market. You know what I'm saying? Not on the market, but stock market, you know. Anywho. So he goes into this meeting, and he's talking to them, and he got this little basketball and this and that and other. And he's like, music is not the same. When I got in it, I was able to get in and sing or do whatever he did, rap or whatever, and come from rags to riches. He said, I started out selling dope, and then I went to this, but now with the way it is now with the internet and shit like that, you can't come up like that no more. Which I thought was a good, valid point that they put that in there, because I've made no beans about it, but I'm sure, you know, that, you know, folks that are younger or whatever feel like, hey, we think the music's nice, you know, and it's unfortunate because I feel like for this generation to hear some decent music, they need to go back and listen to some other, you know what I'm saying, some older shit. When I was younger, my mother was like, you know, what a lot of music was like, you know, she wasn't digging our shit because truly, she had came from a time when, you know, they really had good music, you know. And I'm feeling what he's saying, and I'm glad he said the shit. And he's like, I'm going to take the company here and this and that and other. Meanwhile, you know something's going on with him. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I told my husband, I'm like, I've seen this coming, this sick shit coming with him, because it's like, it's this need to get this shit done right away. Okay, so he's going to do that with the company. As you go around the table, honey, you see some of the old faces of different shows and this and that and other. And I'm like, okay, I'm feeling this. Then we have a scene where, let me see, Cookie done got her ass out. She's on the doorbell now. Her son, the one that's gay. And then there was a scene where he was like, when the daddy sent him in there to go see her, and he was like, tell your mama I love her, but he wasn't going to go in there. The baby went in there, was saying what was going on with him, and you know, how he was being, you know, made to, you know, feeling bad, and how he was being treated. And she was like, baby, you different. She knew he was. And I'm going to get to that shit, because I know y'all know what part set my soul a motherfucking flame. Shit, without me even saying that shit. And why can't I get this shit over? Anywho, so off of that, she's telling him it's going to be all right, baby, you different. This and that and other. She's wondering why the husband ain't coming to see her, the boyfriend, the daddy, whatever. Turns Howard ain't coming. Okay. In the midst of that, going off of that, you see him and his love in the house, and it's like, you know, they chit-chatting it up, talking about shit and this and that and other, music, whatever. Knock at the motherfucking door, and who is it? Mama Cookie, honey. She come through that shit. They trying to pick shit up because that motherfucker's a trifling mess. And which I would said the same damn shit, because that was a damn wreck. What is that? I don't know what that is. Anywho. So she goes in there. She's like, hey, baby. She hugs him and all of that. And she's like, for you to be a queen, honey, this place is a damn mess. You need to get somebody to clean this shit up in here. And she's like, is that chicken? And he's trying to usher on into the next room. Meanwhile, his boyfriend is coming through. And she's like, oh, hi, baby. You didn't tell me about this. You got a piece of her? You didn't tell me about this shit. So she's like, oh, you little Latino, or whatever she said, something to that effect. And you need to get him to kind of, honey, clean this up around her. She's eating the chicken. He done already said it's stewed chicken or whatever. She's there. And you can see that he's happy to see her, but he knew he didn't have that shit together. And evidently, she was supposed to have 30 years. But she got out in 17. I'm going to pull this shit off on me. Okay, here we go. Sorry, y'all. All right, I got it. Anywho, so, okay, we have that. She's looking the way she's looking, and I'm glad they got to see each other. Then let's go to this scene where the one son, they watching, they at some boxing ring or whatever, and there's this big guy, you know, and he's like, why you didn't tell me Cookie was home? I want to know everything she doing, this and that, nothing. You can kind of see the big dude is disgruntled. It's like, you know what I mean? Like he's kind of thrown off a little bit or some shit like that. He's like, I need 25,000, you know, and like, come to find out, they go all the way back and shit. And I'm like, why this motherfucker won't give him no money? He's sitting on all this motherfucking money. Something ain't right. Anywho, he said, I want to know everything she do, blase, this and that and other. Oh, dude's gonna follow Cookie. Now, you already know from the door, just seeing her when she come on the scene, her character, bitch, you're not gonna get too much of nothing in over on me. I'm out, and that's what the fuck it is, and I got this company done. Now, she had the scene where she went to go see him at the company, went marching in there in her suit and this and that and other, and she wasn't part of it or whatever or what have you. And he's like, I can't give you part of it. Shit, I don't own part of it. I own 10%. I guess shareholders, stockholders, or whatever own it. She's like, well, I want this amount of money. I want $5 million, and I want to do A&R. And he's like, I might can get you 3, and you ain't doing A&R. But she knows what the fuck she wants, and she knows what she knows. And we find out after she leaves. Now, she's in there looking, and they talking, and she's firing shit in on him, and I'm like, that's right, bitch, because that's how the fuck I would have been. You know what I mean? She's looking at the new bitch that he got, and old girl comes in, and she's like, you know, she ain't even paying her, honey, because I'm over that. We gonna move forward, honey. This must be your new Halle Berry or something. She alluded to Halle Berry or what the fuck ever, looked at her and went out that motherfucking door. And you knew then that he better fucking find out how to get her motherfucking $5 million. Get that motherfucking money, because I know too much about you. In the midst of that, they keep going back and forth, and you keep seeing, like when they was young and this and that and other. Then we have a scene where that ornery ass motherfucking brother, he's with his snake ass wife. This snake bitch is maneuvering shit. You know what I'm saying? She's saying what needs to be said. Yeah. You know, it ain't about getting him in this position. It's about getting him this money so I can get more. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about me, motherfuck him, but I'm going to keep making him think it's about him, you know. Now I'm going to pause there for a minute. Because at a point, when they was at the little boxing thing or wherever they was, he was like, I want my sons at the little meeting, whichever one, y'all. It's just kind of bunched together right now. I'm a little excited about the show. Tell my sons to meet me at my house. They there. One of them got his foot up on the table, and I would have popped the shit out of him. The other one, the one that's gay, was there, and then the oldest business ass brother is there. He comes in and said, get your feet off the table that I eat on, my $4,000 table. And I'm like, yo, ignorant ass, you really got to say how much it costs. Okay, so then he begins to tell them, you know, your brother and me, we've been getting this together. We taking it here. We going public, whatever. And I need to be, ain't neither one of y'all Negroes ready right now. And see, the older brother who's in the business, he seemed to think that he automatically or innately should be the one doing it. And evidently his daddy, no, honey, I know that motherfucking snake is behind you. I know his ass ain't right. he said within the next 3 to 6 months or whatever, I'm going to come and I'm going to say at once who I'm going to be grooming to be ready to do, to run this company. Automatically, the one that's gay, it's like he already know he ain't going to be. The one who thinks he's supposed to be in the other one, his ass is just not doing right. And something, something's going on with him or whatever. Something's going on with him. I feel like there's something going on with him. Okay. So then we have that. Then we're going to bounce. And this one we're going to go back to the snake and the business brother in there. And she's, spending her motherfucking shit. And, what if you do that? And now he didn't realize that if he pit the two brothers against each other and they battling, the daddy ain't got no other choice but to leave it to him. I guess he thought, okay, well, he got it. He's going to put this thing to play. Meanwhile, the daddy meets up with the one that raps. No, honey, let me go to this one, honey, because I don't blame her. That motherfucker called his mama a bitch. She got that cookie, got that broom, and whooped his motherfucking cookie. The fuck you mean calling your mama a bitch? Yo. I would have wrung his motherfucking neck. I would have wrung his motherfucking neck. The fuck you mean? And next thing you know, he come to meet his daddy and his eyes black. His daddy, she said, I met her and she is crazy or whatever. And he said, your mother, you the most like your mother. Then he goes on to say, do you mind?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Then he goes on to say, your mother wanted to, and she was good and this and that. Another trying to say, you need to talk with her. Then he says, well, I wanted us to do a song together. Tells him he's throwing his motherfucking life away on bitches and this and that another, And the daddy's like, we're going to do a song together. Okay. In the midst of that, at one point, the damn business son goes to her house, and Cookie got all these brand new bags of shit, but she laying on the floor because she, trying to get inoculated back into shit. But before she went to that motherfucking door, did anybody happen to see how she got her motherfucking gun? It was like, let me go to this motherfucker. And she answered the door, and he said who he was, and she kind of gasped or whatever, but it wasn't the same feel as it was with the other ones. And then you see him kind of looking off after the hug, like, then they get to having a conversation about, he's trying to throw the dad under the bus, but really what he's doing is starting this shit to do the divide, and he's like, you need to take and produce the son that's gay. Now, she's looking and this and that and other, and then she says, is that what your wife said? No, did she say, is that what your wife told you? Kind of letting him know that I know who's running this motherfucking show as it pertains to you. So then there's a part where the son that's gay goes and meets up with dad, and he's talking to him, and he's like, you need to make another CD, you need to change, and it's a choice, and he's like, I'm gay, and that's it. Did he say sissy, y'all? Because I think that's what he said. But what it boiled down to was he's gay, and that's it. He kind of raised his voice, and he's like, get that bass out of your voice. He's a grown-ass fucking man. Okay, so we have that, and then Cookie somewhere at one point, she walks up on the big dude who's supposed to be following her. He's sleeping in the motherfucking car with spitting mayonnaise and shit on the side of his face, and she knocks on the window and says, and he said, I practically raised him. And she was like, thank you for that. He said that we go way back, but he treats me like I'm nothing. He left me behind, yada, yada, yada. Finally, she was like, did he ask you to follow me? And he was like, yeah. Like he basically wanted to say he was fucking angry. Anywho, so we have that. Then at one point, you have the doctor scene where he's going into shit and you see him getting scanned. And this is when I'm like, okay, Fox, I see you adding all this shit. And did y'all hear them say the word Illuminati? I know I ain't crazy. Leave that shit below. Come in. They said the word Illuminati in it. I heard it. And I know I heard it. It was in there. I'm going to run that shit back. But y'all leave it below and let me know. And I'm like, oh, they throwing in all the bells and whistles, you know, on this one. And then come to find out he got ALS and this and that and other. And I knew something was going on, but I was kind of thinking it was going to be like he had cancer. I don't have none. Word. She wanted some anti-inflammatory. Wait a minute. That's Motrin, ain't it? Yeah. Wait a minute, Brittany. I got Motrin. Hold on. Anywho, so I'm thinking he was going to have cancer, but he didn't. That's what he had. And the doctor was like, you know, all the tests we're doing. And she told him, and she's like, you know, you got like 3 years or some shit like that. But he already knew he was sick. And I knew that he was sick because he's trying to do certain shit. In the midst of that, dude tells him, runs up on him in his house. The big dude and said, I need this money. You know, basically telling him he's a snake and this and that and other. And I want $3 million. And I know about the 4 drug dealers that you killed and all of that shit. And he was like, I won't give you 3 pennies. If I did, you wouldn't do nothing but gamble that shit up or whatever. Oh, dude standing there looking a motherfucking fool. And you already know that he's looking like... I said, wait just a moment. So, check that. I don't want to hear them. So, what happened next? My brother's watching the game, and I don't want to hear this shit. Okay, what happened after that? Because I hate it when I get thrown off when I'm talking about a show that I really want to talk about. Okay, so we had that. He's not going to give him no money. He's going to find a way to get his shit. He's like, you know, you going to pay me. He's going to get that money. Okay, so we have that shit. Then there's a point, excuse me, y'all, where the daddy and him is doing this music together. And the song ain't quite right. The one brother takes it to the one that's gay. And he like, you know, twisted this, you know, and this and that and other. Now, in the midst of this, Cookie then went and told him, look, I want $5 million. And I want him. And he's like, no. And she finally said, you ain't never want him. He said, you know, and he agreed he ain't never want him. And this is when we kind of in between and we see this shit that this motherfucker done when that baby walked out in the motherfucking heels and that bitch threw that baby in the garbage. Are you fucking kidding me? Fox, what are you trying to say with this? That shit pissed me the fuck off. And I'm thinking, bitch, that's what you needed to do 17 years for. That motherfucker threw him in the garbage. Ooh, y'all. And I knew it was going to be some shade because it's Fox. We know we're dealing with Fox. We know we're dealing with them. Okay, and then we come off of that. She was mad as hell when she was. But I'm like, why you didn't have no skillet or nothing and pop him upside his motherfucking head? And, ooh, oh, y'all, that part made me so motherfucking mad because there's nothing in the world that would ever make you threw your motherfucking child in the trash. Ooh, Lord, I can't. Okay. So, we have that. Then, what else happened? Let's see. Cookie done asked her what she wants. She done went in there while they was having the meeting. She done walked in and this and that and other and hey and this and that and other and talking to him. And he's like, she's like, whichever one was like, can we have a talk for a minute? She walks in there. She begins to tell him what she wants. And that's when she said she wanted him. Oh, dude who was on New York Undercover, he said something. And she says, shut up, bitch. I said, that's my motherfucker. Because that's how the fuck I'd have been too. Bitch, please. She let him know that it would not be cute for them to know that my $400,000 is the one that started that shit. Whoop-de-wop. She just said, you know, what she wanted. Now he got to get this motherfucking money because I don't think he wants to fuck with her. He didn't want the boy, this and that and other. He has no desire. Okay, so she gonna get her shit. Apparently, she done went to the little thing. City Bass there. His boyfriend's there. He's singing. yada, yada, yada. And it was really, really cute. And she's like, I really want to produce you, this and that and other. And this kind of goes on kind of around the thing with him and his brother. And the brother's like, the song ain't right. And he's like, I'll fix it, me and the band. You know, but she's like, baby, we need to come out. And she wants him to sing and be outwardly gay and just be out. I can sing, but I'm gay. That's it. You know, it don't change the value of his voice. Now, he done already told him that, you know, black folks ain't going to support, I think he said, I know black folks ain't going to support no sissy, which I thought shade within that. Why the fuck you guys say that? I'm just saying. Y'all know I ain't for that shit. And white folks ain't neither. The young white, well, okay. First of all, none of these new motherfuckers is going to support shit when it comes down to somebody who may have some real talent. I'm sorry. Motherfuckers nowadays will gravitate towards some bullshit quicker than they will actually stop and listen to somebody who can really sing. The worst thing in the world is that motherfucking auto-tune shit. I'm not going to get into that. Anywho, so we had that shit. Y'all, this video is almost 30 minutes. Okay, so we had that shit. She goes, she gets her money. She's going to work with him. At one point, old dude's at the damn river. Now, he gets a picture saying that the dude, the big guy, has been dibbling and dabbling with this motherfucker and he owed him this money. So he looks at the pictures and next thing you know, the dude's out at the motherfucking river pissing and old dude walks up on him and he's like, you got my money. He showed him the picture. He said, so what? You've been a sellout for a long time. You know, he's like, you got my money, blah, blah, blah. I know too much shit on you. And that motherfucker pulled that gun out and split his motherfucking wig, peeled his shit back, okay? And dropped his ass in that motherfucking river. And instantly, I'm like, okay, this is when the plot is truly thickening. Because I think Cookie really liked him and this and that and other. You know what I'm saying? As a friend or whatever. However fucked up he is now. We have that. Next thing you know, you got old dude saying that he done heard the song and he said he likes it. And the one son said he helped me and he looked at him like, nah, you the one. You know, looked at the one that's gay like he ain't shit. Nah, you the one with that fire, with that talent. Now, if the motherfucker had it, he wouldn't have needed no motherfucking help. But this is what the older brother then put into play. He gonna put them against each other. And while that shit's going on, I'm gonna get your dad, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, the snake gonna be in his ear. Eat the apple. Eat the apple. You know, some shit like that. What? Well, I mean, I'm just saying. So, anywho, after that, yeah, he did. Anyway, after that, you see him introducing Cookie as whoever she is, and you see his new wife and this and that and other looking like, Now, him and Cookie had already been talking in there in that room and shit and was like, I know you got her and the other ones you sleeping with and blase, this and that and other. So, y'all, basically, that's the gist of it. I know this might not be a great review, but this is just me kind of inoculating my shit into this show. First time I seen it, I just watched it right before I cut the camera on, so I may have, you know, I don't have the names down or whatever, but I'm definitely watching this shit. And me and Cookie, it's her, honey. I've always liked Taraji. I have always liked her. So, y'all, I'm looking forward to seeing this shit. This shit was fire, and I thank y'all for sharing that with me and telling me to watch it. Okay? So, anywho, y'all, that's my doorbell. I'm out of here. Y'all leave it below. Tell me what y'all think. And did y'all hear them say Illuminati? Just leave that shit below.